as you can tell by the familiar white blaze over my right shoulder, I'm back on the AT again. Just doing the northern section of the Shenandoah National Park over 4 days, so about 50k, pretty easy going. Today will be a short day and Monday will be a short day with two 13-mile days tomorrow and Sunday. So it's ANZAC Day weekend, hence the poppy. Hopefully you can see that there on the collar. And I'll raise the flag on Sunday morning, just on dawn, and yeah, pay my respects to the fallen. You'll also see I've got a sneaky little treat for Sunday afternoon, which I'll show you later. But yeah, it's early spring, and as you can see from the leaves in the trees now, it's starting to fill out a bit, which will be nice. It'll give me a bit of shade cover over the next few days. Well, not so much tomorrow because it's going to rain all day and be heavily overcast, but at least today it's a bright sunny day, not a cloud in the sky, so pretty good conditions. Anyway, I'm about a K in. I've got another couple of K before I hit the actual Shenandoah boundary, because I came off the 522 where the AT intersects that, just up near Front Royal. So I'll be going from Front Royal down to Thornton's Gap. So it should be a good walk, I should say. So yeah, hopefully you join me for it, and we'll talk to you later on. Cheers. That's where I'm going. Compton Peak. Stealth camp tonight. Get me a little further along the trail up to Gravel Spring Hut tomorrow. Split the 2 days. So I've made it into my night lock for tonight. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and sun sets at about 7:30, I think, so it's probably dark by about 8, so I've got a few hours. Sun's kind of up there still, so still a ways to go. It's come a little bit cloudy this afternoon, especially into the west, but it might get a nice sunset, so that'll be nice. So I'll give you the tour of the campsite. So someone's eked out quite a nice little campsite here, which I'm happy to take advantage of. A relatively flat, rock-free zone for the tent. So I've got the tent set up there, ready to go. Most things are set out inside, at least the sleeping bag ready to, so it's lofting out, and the sleeping mat down. Coffee pot ready for the morning, pretty important stuff. Put the food bag and chair. I've just had some noodles for afternoon tea or early dinner, and then I've got a wet meal pre-cooked. I think it is butter chicken with dumplings, something like that anyway, for tonight. So I'm sort of perched up on top of a cliff here, and I'll take you for a walk out there. Sort of faces southwest-ish, and so hopefully I'll get a decent view of the sunset tonight from the rock face. I've set myself up the line for the bear bag already, just out here, and not sure if you can really see it hanging, but sort of hanging, yeah, just out there. I'll do another bit of a video tonight. I got it right up on that branch up there, so I don't think any bear's going to climb up that far. Anyway, we'll see. If he does, he probably deserves my food. So there you go. So this is a little walkway out to the point. And so this is Compton Peak, is the actual hill that I'm on. I don't actually know the elevation, but we can figure that out later. I'll put it on the screen. And so a short little walk out onto this quite lovely little rock face, which gives, as I say, a nice view down to well, actually it's probably more, yeah, I don't know, it's probably, well, I guess the sun's setting out there west, maybe west northwest. Anyway, we've got so Skyline Drive running down along in the mid-ground here, and past the peak out to the west. So I'm not too sure. So Front Royal will be down this way, just sort of tucked around the corner here, which is the top of Shenandoah Park. And I'm not too sure what that river is, so yeah, this is my first time in the northern sector, so I'm probably lacking in knowledge a bit. I need to do a little bit more research, but again, I might be able to put that on the screen as to what river that is. Yeah, so not a bad little spot to spend the night, I think. And in typical fashion, unfortunately, a bit of rubbish there, but I'll pick that up and take that with me. Okay, so yeah, I'll hopefully get some decent shots of the sunset. It's quite nice actually. Now you're starting to see the green in the trees down the bottom here, although interestingly up here the leaves are only just starting to sprout now. I'll see if I can get a little bit of a close-up here, and so you can see they're just starting to bud, all of the tree tips, and so we're probably a couple of weeks away from seeing too many leaves at this elevation, although these ones here are just starting to flower and they'll start producing leaves pretty soon. So yeah, it's interesting how at the lower elevation you got quite a lot of green coming in, but at this higher elevation it's still pretty brown. Alright, I'll check in with you later. Morning guys. Well, as you can see, I'm all packed up and ready to go, and you might also be able to see that I dropped the GoPro this morning and cracked the lens, but anyway, we shall crack on. So I'm all packed, pack's there, ready to go, and as you can see, the only evidence that I was here was probably a couple of holes in the ground where I put the tent pegs in. Other than that, I've left everything as I found it. I even picked up a little bit of rubbish, which is not unusual. Actually 2 pieces of rubbish out here, which probably isn't too bad in overall terms. So I'm going to hike over and check out these cliffs that are apparently pretty stunning. Hopefully the sun's on them now, so we'll get some good shots and hit the trail. So off to Gravel Springs Hut today. It's about 13.5, 14 kilometres, give or take, and so it should be a good walk. The first 2/3 is mostly uphill, but then I've got a downhill into Gravel Springs, so that'll be nice to end the day. So it'll be good. Alright, we'll catch up with you on the trail. Cheers. Check out this beauty. I'll show you around the front in a minute, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the angle that it's sitting on. This is super impressive. And so essentially the rock has gone from that to that, pushed right up, and it extends probably a good 100 meters along its face. And I'll give you a look at the bottom. Let's have a look at that for a rock formation. I hope it comes up as well on the camera as what I'm seeing it. But there's just a whole heap of sort of pentagons, most of them roughly shaped pentagons. Some of them are fairly round, some hexagons, but just incredible. Really quite ominous to stand under, I guess, thinking that a lot of what you see down here has definitely come from up there. I'm just at the spring, and it would appear that I'm not the only one here. Nice little deer. Definitely looks like the foundations of an old home structure of some description. And so this dates back quite a way. And I think this might be Hogwallow Flats. So there's no camping in this area due to the significance of the area. I guess any piece of flat land that existed back in the day before the turn of the century was used for farmland up here, and so this is probably part of that farm. Yeah, pretty neat. time for a lunch break. So I've got about 3 k's to the campground, and it's about 1:30 in the afternoon, so I'm making good time, happy with how I'm going, but time to eat, a bit hungry, so not a bad place to have some lunch. Got a bit of a view. I'm kind of right on the edge of this grassy area. Mount Marshall I'm on, and the trail's just there, so I'm not far off the trail, but yeah, kind of got a little perch down here, and not a bad view through the trees. Thankfully there's no leaves yet, so I can actually see, but you can see they're just starting to bud out nicely now. There's some leaves coming out on them. So lunch today is a tomato basil pasta. Looks pretty fantastic in the picture, and there's real life, so I don't think it'll be too bad. And I've also got some beef jerky, which is actually pretty delicious. So I'm going to heat that up and have some lunch. Cheers. Well, here we are at Gravel Springs Hut. Looks like I might nearly have the place to myself at the moment. Nice little spring water coming down. There's the hut, and I presume that might be the campsite, but we'll go and see. Looks like the campsites are all down the bottom, and I tell you what, that one just there looks pretty good to me. Privy over there. Let's go find a campsite. Couple of people in now, but I'm all set up. So if it rains, I'm good. And yeah, not a bad spot. Reasonably level. The ground was like concrete. A little bit hard to get the pegs in, but got there in the end. And yeah, rain's not too far away, I think, so I better get some dinner early and go and get some water. Well, it's about 7 o'clock at night, and I've had dinner, been up at the hut having a good chat with the people in tonight. A couple of older guys, a young couple, and a young fellow and his mate. And it was good, had a good chat, so it was nice. I've just come down now to make a cup of tea, and sitting in the tent in the rain, but it's nice and cool, and quite a nice night, so probably try and get an early night tonight if I can. It's going to be dark in about an hour, so I'll have my cup of tea, probably check out the trail for tomorrow, and then get an early night before, it's Anzac Day in the morning. So I've managed to rig myself up a, well, flagpole of sorts, I guess, at least somewhere to hoist the flag, and so I'll do that in the morning once we see a bit of sunlight, and yeah, mark Anzac Day the best way I can out on the trail. So we'll probably won't talk to you again until then, so see you in the morning.
When I was a young man, I carried my pack, and I lived the free life of a rogue. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I was my Matilda. Then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, 'cause there's work to be done. So they gave me a hand, they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the moon. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we sailed away from the quay, and up amidst all the tears and the shells and the cheers, sailed on forgetting. Well, when I
13 miles. And this is what it looks like today. A little bit chilly, a little bit foggy. No rain, but plenty of drops out of the trees. Not feeling too bad. It's Anzac Day, so that lifts the spirits. And yeah, got the pack cover on today. Try and keep everything dry. The tent got pretty wet last night, but to be expected. Stayed dry inside the tent, but the tent itself is soaked. So they're predicting that this fog will clear by about lunchtime, and we'll have some good weather this afternoon. So I'm hoping if I get into Pass Hut early enough, and there's some sunshine there, the tent will dry out a bit for tonight, so that'll be good. But I've got 13 mile, which is what, roughly 22 k's, so it's a big-ish day for me today, my biggest one for this trip, so I better stop yabbering and get on with it, and I'll check in with you later. See ya. Well, no view today. You can probably see and hear how windy it is. I'm truly in the clouds this morning, but the good thing is this wind will probably drive away all the clouds and turn it into a nice day. But yeah, keen to get onto the west side of the mountain and out of this wind, so I'm going to keep going. Hey guys, well, I'm currently at the highest point of my hike at 3,900 feet or 1,300 meters, and I've come about 5k today, and I think I'll go the next 5k to the halfway mark and then stop and have breakfast. I don't really feel like it's pretty windy up here and cold. The sun's sort of trying to poke through every now and then, but not really getting there. And so I've just climbed the big pimple, which is Hogback Mountain, I think. I'll correct it on the screen if I'm wrong. But then, and so that was switchback after switchback. Probably climbed about 1,000 feet today already in 5k. So now I have to go down. So it's not all the way down. I think it's about 500 feet down, and I go up another smaller, so through the saddle and up over another smaller knoll, and then down into my halfway mark. There's a wayside there, so I'll stop in and say good day and see what they've got to offer, maybe grab a snack. But I think that's where I'll stop and have coffee, but I might not make it that far either. I might just stop and go for some brekkie and coffee before that. So anyway, I'll check in next time I stop. Cheers. Time for breakfast. Got the usual porridge with trail mix and coffee yet to be poured. It's pretty chilly and pretty exposed, so I'm not going to hang around long. I'll get this done and get underway. Oh, clouds are starting to clear slightly. Hey guys, well, I'm not going to lie, I am a proper rubber ducked. I've clicked over 20 k's, only about a k to go. I'm just coming over Pass Mountain now, and the hut is, yeah, about a k, but it's mostly downhill from here. So I'm nearly there, and thank goodness for that. I am definitely ready. There's 50k. I am definitely ready. That's 50k from the start. The watch just ticked over. So I'm definitely ready to put the pack down, get the tent out, get it dry, and cook up my lunch, which I kind of didn't have. I stopped at the wayside, which I didn't film unfortunately, but talked to a couple of nice guys there, and had a packet of Route 11 chips, which are awesome by the way, sweet and sour, no, what, sour cream and cheese, something like that. They were pretty good, and a Gatorade. So that got me up the next hill, but then the next one after that kicked my ass, and I'm a little bit bonked now, but it's okay, we're nearly there. And more sun would be nice, but I don't think I'm going to get it. So anyway, enough rambling. I'm tired. I'm going to get there now, and I'll show you the hut and the site when I get there. Cheers, see you then. You. Well, here we are, past Mountain Hut. What's up? Better now I'm here. Well, it's time for the Green Terror, juicy IPA. Actually, it has a little story, but even if it was written on the can, I don't think I'd be able to read it anyway, so there you go. But it does have a tiki. Let me just fix this up. Pretty windy here. So yeah, it does have a tiki on the can, which I think is pretty neat given ANZAC Day, Australian hops and New Zealand artwork, so it works, and I reckon it will taste pretty good too. Well, good morning. It's the last day of the adventure today. It's not too early, sun's been up for an hour or so. I've had some brekkie and a coffee, gonna have another one. But yeah, I've just kind of taken a bit of a walk around, a bit of an explore, had a look at the campsites because I slept in the hut last night, which was pretty deluxe. And yeah, I thought I'd take you guys down for a bit of a wander down here. Some deer track behind me where they've, or a deer at least, has come in and had a drink, which is always nice. There's a couple of birds in the trees, hopefully you might be able to hear. I've been trying to catch a woodpecker. He's been cruising around the campsite, but pretty hard to pick up on this little GoPro. But you might hear him in the background, you never know. So it's the last day there he goes. It's the last day today, and so Tam's picking me up at 11 at the Gap, which is only about 1.5 miles away, so I'm really in no rush this morning. It's just a time to relax and enjoy a bit of the sun. The sun's back, as you can see, which is awesome. And I've had a really good trip, so unless I see something that I need to tell you about, I think probably be the last time I talk to you guys for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, actually there is something else. So I think my official trail name now is Foster's. Like it or love it, or not. I don't know. I mean, as much as Australians don't like Foster's, it's pretty synonymous in America as an Australian icon. I don't know why it's terrible beer, but I'm thinking I might have to take it. A few guys the night before last definitely sort of were adamant that that should be my trail name, so maybe it should. So anyway, I think I'll go with it, and so I suppose this is Foster's signing off from the Shenandoah National Park. Catch you on the next one.